Welcome to Life of Joy and Purpose, a podcast for women ready to stop living on autopilot and start living with clarity, intention, and heart. I'm your host, Vicki Gardner, therapist, life coach, and fellow traveler on this journey. Each week, we'll explore how to live authentically, love boldly, and build a life that reflects you, not who the world says you should be. If you're navigating change or simply longing for more, you are in the right place. Let's grow together. We keep it real around here. By that, I mean that I don't have a fancy studio or setup, so you may hear neighborhood noise like, a lawn service or dogs barking. And I don't want to change that because I want you to know that my life probably looks a lot like yours and it gets messy sometimes. Stay tuned. Here we go. Hi, friends. I'm so glad that you're here today. If you're listening, I have a feeling it's not by accident. Maybe you've been feeling stretched thin or a little disconnected from yourself, or maybe you've been showing up for everyone else and you're starting to wonder, when was the last time I checked in with me? The inspiration for today's episode came from a simple moment last week. I was sitting in my kitchen early in the morning, coffee in my hand, the house completely still, no one was awake. I wasn't scrolling, I wasn't planning, I wasn't even thinking about my to-do list yet. And in that quiet moment, I heard this gentle question rise up inside me. Vicki, what does your soul need right now? It stopped me in my tracks because if I'm honest, I hadn't asked myself that in a while, long time. We talk about what our body needs, like more water, more rest. We talk about what our minds need, less stress, more focus. But our soul, that deeper, truer part of us, sometimes she gets left behind. Today, we're going to slow down together. We're going to explore how to hear what your soul needs and how to give it to her right now in the season that you're in. Here's the truth. Most of us are moving so fast, taking care of so many people that our soul's voice gets drowned out, right? Like life gets busy. For some of you, like for me, school just started. So I've got Madeline, who is a high schooler. We had to get all of her school stuff together, get her ready to start school. I had to move Katie, my college girl, back into college. She's actually in an apartment this semester. We had to get all that stuff done, and then we have to wrap our head around, okay, what does our family life need to look like with this new routine again, and making sure we get everything organized, right? And it's a lot. We wake up and the day starts before we even have a chance to think. Emails, kids, work, caregiving, errands, commitments. And then before we know it, another week is gone. And as women, especially in midlife, we've been trained, programmed even, to be givers, to anticipate everyone else's needs before they even speak them. We've even been told that that is what makes us good, kind, responsible. But here's what happens. When you ignore your soul's whispers for too long, she stops whispering. She starts sending you signs in other ways, through exhaustion, irritability, emptiness, or that nagging feeling that something is missing. In the last 2 episodes, we talked about compassion fatigue, and that falls in here too. I like to think of it this way. Your soul has a love language. She's been texting you for months, but you've been leaving her unread. Just let that sink in for a second. So, how do you know your soul is craving attention? Here are a few clues. Emotionally, you feel restless or dissatisfied, even when everything looks fine on the outside. Joy feels distant. You can't remember the last time you belly laughed, truly belly laughed. You're more irritable, snapping at little things. Physically, your energy dips for no medical reason. You feel heavy even when you're doing all the right things for your health. Sleep doesn't leave you feeling rested. Spiritually, you feel far from yourself, like you're living on autopilot. You've lost your sense of wonder, maybe even creativity, imagination, curiosity. You can't remember the last time you felt inspired. If you're nodding your head to any of these, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. Your soul is simply waving her arms saying, "Hey, I'm still here. I miss you." So, how do we hear her again? It starts with slowing down enough to ask the question, what does my soul need right now? Here are a few ways to make space for that conversation. Number one, morning stillness before the world wakes up. Even 5 minutes with your coffee or other morning beverage before you touch your phone, it can be a soul reset. You know, I've talked a lot about my morning routine. It doesn't have to look like mine, but what I do is when I wake up, I have my coffee, I sit down, I just I'm still for a few minutes because I try to check in just to see what I'm feeling for the day. And what do I want to feel for the day? And then I have a Bible verse that I write down. I have a thought that I want to carry with me throughout the day, an encouraging thought. And then I work on my task list. I do my daily planning in my planner. And then I work on my gratitude journal. This sounds like a lot, but it really doesn't take very long. But that's my time, what I do in the morning. And when I don't do it, I really miss it. The second thing that you can do to give space with this is a walk without distractions. No podcasts, no music, just you and the sound of the world around you. And 3, soul journaling. Open a notebook and write this question at the top. Dear soul, what do you need from me today? Then let your pen move without editing or judging or analyzing what you're actually writing. Just let the pen go. Just write and see what happens. When the answers come, they may surprise you. Sometimes your soul will say, I need rest. Other times, maybe I need beauty. I need to create. Or even, I need you to let go of this thing you've been carrying. The key is don't overthink it. I know that's so easy to say and more difficult to do. I know. But really and truly, don't overthink it. Your soul speaks in gentle nudges, not long speeches. Once you hear the need, I want you to honor it, even in the smallest way. Here's some examples. Beauty breaks. Step outside and notice the way the light hits the trees and just take it in. Let that be enough. You may go and want to take a beauty break and watch the sunrise or the sunset. If you live near any kind of body of water, a lake, a stream, just go and observe and look. Just take in our beautiful world around us that God created. I know sometimes when I look at a sunset, I can just sit there and stare at it because I'm just taking in this beauty that God created. Sometimes I look at a sunset that is so beautiful and I'm like, okay, God, you're totally showing off. And I have a feeling what those sunsets look like. They're gorgeous. Another example is to create without pressure. Paint, bake, plant flowers, rearrange a bookshelf just for the joy of it. I know you're probably thinking, why would I rearrange things with no purpose? If that doesn't speak to you, then don't do it. Some people love to reorganize things. There's a lady in my neighborhood here. She is so sweet and fun. She has a little business. She's very creative and very artistic. And she has a business where she goes to your home and y'all paint something. You have a group of people and you paint. It's very unlike painting with a twist, but kind of that concept. And what she does is there's always an inspiration piece. And she tells you, this is just a guide. Put some paint on the paintbrush and just put it on the paper. Express yourself that way. Just let it out. Just see where it takes you. And I know that sounds silly, but it really is actually quite therapeutic. We express ourselves through art, sometimes where words can't. So I can say I enjoyed going to those. Bake some cookies, bake something that you've been wanting to try, or just plant flowers. Another example is say no. Protect your energy by declining what isn't aligning. It's okay to say no. You can be very respectful about it. Connection is another example. Spend time with people who make you feel lighter, not drained. We talked a little bit about this kind of stuff in one of the episodes about when friendships shift. Sometimes the people we end up having to kind of really think about, okay, who is going to make me feel lighter? Make a mental note of those people. Spend time with them. This doesn't require a weekend retreat in the mountains, although that sounds lovely, or a beach trip at some fancy resort. That sounds nice too. Your soul can be fed in 5 minutes, okay? It doesn't have to be 5 days away on some trip. Just give yourself those 5 minutes. The important thing is to tend to her like a plant that needs regular watering, not a rescue mission every 6 months. Okay? We're going to be proactive, not reactive. Okay? Right now, wherever you are, I invite you to close your eyes, unless you're driving, and take a slow, deep breath. Ask yourself gently, what does my soul need right now? And trust the very first thing that rises up in you. We're going to close with a prayer, and then I'm going to give you some homework. God, thank you for the gift of our souls. These tender, wise parts of us that carry truth and beauty. Help us to slow down and listen for your voice and the quiet needs of our hearts. Teach us to tend to ourselves with the same care and compassion that we give to others. And when life feels loud, lead us back to stillness so we can hear what matters most. In Jesus' name, amen. Now for your homework. Before you go to bed tonight, or if it works out better for you in your life, first thing in the morning, I want you to grab a notebook or piece of paper and write this question at the top. What does my soul need right now? Write what comes up for you, okay? Without judgment, without editing. Then choose one small way to honor that need in the next 24 hours. Even if it's just 5 minutes, give it to yourself. Your soul will thank you. So what that might look like is if one of those things on your list, because I'm hoping that you can come up with a list of how you can honor it. Maybe you can think of 5 ways to honor if it needs a beauty break, for example. 5 ideas, okay? Go and look at that sunset. And maybe you can even write about that, okay? So if it is the sunset, for example, just go out and look at it. Take it all in. Think of the beauty that God has stretched across the sky. What does that mean to you? What are you taking in? Absorb it. Just be with it. Okay? And when you come in, I want you to write it down. Just write a little something about it. A reflection about it. Okay? If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to continue the conversation with me. There should be in the show notes a button that says text me. Please do it. I would love to hear from you. I want you to think about joining our Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group. It's called Rise and Discover. It's where women in midlife connect, encourage, and inspire each other to live with clarity, joy, and purpose. You also get access to bonus resources, some videos, and some live sessions. I need to do more of those. I do understand that. And a community that understands your journey. And if you're ready for more encouragement, sign up for our monthly newsletter. It just comes out monthly. It's filled with inspiration, practical tools to help you nurture your mind, body, and soul. I want you to have a wonderful week. I will see you next week. Bye.